Hello guys, and welcome to the live stream. If you have a small moment, you just have to set some things up. So as usually, we will be looking at Bitcoin first, because Bitcoin generally decides how the market behaves. Okay, something actually went wrong here, and I have to redo this. Okay, no problem. I would just like to look at the daily chart for now. There we go. So I removed the rising wedge. Most of you know that I have been looking at a rising wedge play. But I might have changed my mind a little bit. I believe if we are going to correct, for now anyway, we will bounce off this trend line again. And the reason I believe that is the NGO rally. I think we will be actually accumulating for a month between the upper trend line and the bottom trend line. Now, as you know, I was pretty bearish, at least for Bitcoin, up until last week. I'm still more bearish than bullish. But I am not sure if we are actually going to get to these levels again. And the reason I'm saying that is because of the following. I've actually encountered this chart right here, and this is insanely accurate. I mean, this is basically the most accurate prediction I've seen to date for Bitcoin. So yeah, according to this chart, we should be seeing the 2,000, 3,000 levels again, but not next year, but the next year after. So for next year, the low should be about 5K, which would indeed bring us not to my desired buy level, but where it would bring us is the previous top. And in that case, if this is the case, by the way, I prepared a chart only. I don't know, it got wrecked for some reason. If that's the case, then a breakout of this wedge should not bring us all the way down to 3,000, but it should bring us down to about 5,000. And I believe this is more reasonable now than before, because as time moved in and Bitcoin just kept growing, and is over 8K now. I expect it to reach 10K. A pullback to 3,000 levels, it's not realistic anymore. And I'm really sad. I'm really sad about that, because I did sell quite a lot of Bitcoin at the 7,500 level, and I am actually waiting to re-enter. And I really hoped to be able to re-enter at 3K, so I could like double my Bitcoin position. Only I don't think that's going to happen anymore. So when we reach the 5K area, I will start accumulating Bitcoin again, and I will grow my long-term holds, my cold storage for Bitcoin, and then after that, who knows where the price may go. So that's it for now, basically. We are currently finishing wave 5 of the 125 Elliott wave, and once it's finished, it could finish here, but potentially it could, we could reach all the way up to 10K, 12K. I don't think that's very likely though. I do not believe that's very likely. I think by the end of the year, if this trend continues, by the end of the year, we should top out at about 9K, 10K. I will not be buying Bitcoins while we are in the wedge, as you know. I will just wait for the 5K level to appear, and then I will empty all my fiat into Bitcoin again and be ready for the next bull run. Keep in mind though, if a correction like this comes, we need to be very careful to enter alts. I don't think if the wedge breaks down, I don't think it's a good idea to buy alts at that time. Of course, you can hold your current alts because I do believe that we will see an global alt bull run the coming weeks. There's a lot going on Twitter. Actually, the market cap for alts, which I would like to show you as well, just broke all-time high again. And that's something we haven't seen in quite a while. So if I go to global charts, loading data, there we go. This is the global chart, including Bitcoin. As you can see, this is just bullish for the past year. Yeah, all of 2017 has been one big alt fest. But if you look at the chart, excluding Bitcoin, we can see something interesting going on here. And that is that at first alts were slacking. They were going to break down by the looks of it. And suddenly we had like, I know exactly what happened here and I'll explain it in a moment. We had this massive, massive bump upwards. And as you can see, the date is beginning of this month. Now, what happened here? It's very simple. Bitcoin Cash grew enormously. We had a Bitcoin Gold that grew enormously, and Ethereum. So what this means to me is not necessarily that all the alts are going into party mode here, but suddenly, 28 billion is added to the market cap. Ethereum has been extremely bullish. Let's see what it was last week or last month, I should say. Go to 3-month time frame. We had a market cap of about 20 billion. Now it is 40 billion. So that's adding a lot to the altcoin market cap. And then, of course, you have Bitcoin Gold that is growing. I believe that caused most of the rise of the general altcoin market cap. So that's just my 2 cents. I believe that if you are in the right alts, for example, ARK, EOS, what else do we have? I picked up all these alts because I believe in them, and I'm just going to wait to reach target. I know it's taking quite a while. We are in these trades for several weeks now, but I still believe in them. And if there ever comes a moment that I think maybe we should exit, then I will announce it. So now we're going to look at the altcoins. I would like to look at EOS first because I'm most excited about EOS, as you all know. I like to trade it on a 4-hour chart because it's not old enough yet to trade it at the daily. By the way, guys, if you have any questions, please post them in the live stream channel on Slack. I will be there to answer it. And hold on, I already mapped out all these positions we have in the previous live stream. So I'm only going to do an update on them, like what changed, if anything changed, and what should we do accordingly, and where should you enter, have you not entered yet. So EOS, I believe it's going down for the next couple of days. Quite likely it will not be going down too much. I'll just have to look. If you zoom in a little bit, you can see there was a resistance here. We broke the resistance and now it turned into support. And the resistance level is not very, very clear to me. It should be somewhere between these two lines. You know, this is not one sharp, clear support now. It's more of a level, a general level that gets respected by the market. And I think we are going to go back into these, or at least between these two supports. And that should be a good time to buy it. So if you have not entered EOS yet, I suggest you enter it at about 20k Satoshi, 19k Satoshi. You should start buying here. Now, after we've had some accumulation, I believe we can continue uptrend. And for that, I will just have to take out my indicators. And basically, I based most of this on the RSI and the MACD. As you can see, the RSI is currently in a downtrend. The price, however, is remaining quite stable. That's why I'm still bullish. I do believe that once we get oversold, the price should be around 20k Satoshi, and that's the best time possibly to buy in or enlarge your position or just do nothing if you're already in. And once we get oversold, this resistance on the RSI should probably break, and then we can continue the uptrend. Now, of course, this gets confirmed by the MACD. Exactly the same thing is going on here. We have a resistance on the MACD. It's respecting it pretty well. And once either the MACD or the RSI breaks out, then you should probably keep an eye out because the price might follow very soon after. On-balance volume is looking good, so that means not a lot of people are selling. You can see it's still climbing, and it's making higher highs. You know, we have a high here, then we have another high here, and another high here. The price, however, it stayed around the same level. So this is also bullish to me. More people are buying, price is remaining the same. And soon enough, all the sell orders will be eaten and we can continue up. Yeah, I'm really happy for EOS. It's my largest position by far. Apart from the Bitcoins I have, of course. I'm not going to buy anymore because that would be very irresponsible for me if I did. But I'm just going to wait this out. And my first target, as you all know, will be around here at the 60k levels. So that means another 3x from here. So this remains valid. What just happened? Okay, I'll have to add this again. So next one's going to be SYS. I'm not really excited about SYS. I might have to call SYS a stop soon, or maybe not. It remains to be seen. If you are going to buy SYS, I suggest you do it now. We are on support. We are not pulling away from support, sadly. I wish it would have been different already, because the longer we stay here, the bigger the risk it's going to break down. As you can see, there's a very clear downtrend that we have here. And, you know, this could potentially continue all the way up to next month, the second week of next month. So I suggest we keep a close eye on this one. If we break support, I'm going to call it a stop. If we break the resistance, then there is some good hope that we actually might reach the target. The RSI, a little bit inconclusive here. Same for the MACD. It's not really forming any big patterns. Of course, we have a wedge forming with support, and I would take the MACD over the RSI for this one because it's much more clear. And we have a resistance. Hold on. There we go. And it's forming a wedge. So the first
alert to look at is going to be the MACD breaking out of this wedge. If it breaks out downside, I'm going to call it a stop. If it breaks out topside, I'm going to be very, very happy. And then we can actually start approaching the target. I think it will not be a very harsh breakout. I think it's just going to be a slow breakout and then forming like an exponentially rising price like this.
And of course the target. Here's my target. It's going to be the top of the channel, which is at around, let's see. Let's make it 6K Satoshis. Depending on how fast the price can actually make it there. Let's say we go like this, then it's gonna be 5K Satoshis, but I will keep you guys updated on whether or not it's going to be 6 or 5K. So that's CIS. It's not looking bad. It's not looking good. It's just chilling inside the wedge, and we're gonna have to wait until it breaks. Next one on the list, Walton. I'm pretty excited for Walton. Of course, it's a low market cap coin. It doesn't really have a big market cap. Okay, this is not gonna work. There we go. This is one of the easiest trades that we currently have in the calls list. This is based solely on the resistance. Currently, we are at support. You know, and this is how I picked most of these trades. They are safe trades, safe to do. Because we are close to support. If support breaks, we just let our stop losses trigger. No harm done. If resistance, however, breaks, and because this is a low market cap coin, we can expect a new high. And my first target will therefore not be, like I said last time, 0.001 Bitcoin, but it will be 0.003 Bitcoin, also known as 300K Satoshi. And this could go pretty fast. It's a low market cap coin. It's a great product. So I'm just gonna wait this one out. I'm not going to sell unless, of course, we break the support. Indicators are a little bit inconclusive, but of course this is a low market cap coin, so should not put too much trust in any indicators because I could make this go up or down or up with a single sell or buy order. Now let me check if we have any questions. If is Steam still a call? Yes, it is, and I will add it after this live stream on the docs, and I will also treat it in the live stream. So next, we're gonna have ARK to look at. Pretty excited about ARK. I'll tell you why in a moment. As you all know, my target is this red resistance. Let me just adjust the chart so you guys can take a better look at it. By the looks of it, ARK is actually making a higher high. Of course, we cannot be sure yet because it's still in the process of doing so. We called ARK at support, and then we had a small up, and we are actually just gonna have to wait and see how this turns out. I believe that both the indicators, so especially the RSI and the MACD, will have to not break this support that we have on it. If we do, that would be the first signal that we might be breaching the whole general ARK support anytime soon. I don't think this is going to happen. I expect another bounce at the support levels. But something that is absolutely vital is that we do not breach this low here. If we do, we are going to make a lower low, and then the whole trade is going to be cancelled out. I don't think this is going to happen, however. I believe we are actually just going to bounce off the green support line, make for a double bottom, and head up towards our target. And the longer this takes, the better it is. I know this sounds contradictory, but we have a rising resistance. So let's say the price goes up to the resistance now. We're going to make less money than if it goes up to the resistance in a month. You understand? So I hope for a double bottom, a higher low, and just let it take its time. And the longer it takes, the more money we're going to make. So that's ARK. I'm pretty positive about ARK for now. And now my little baby, it's going to be Pay. And this is one of those trades that I'm extremely happy about. This Pay is going to make us a lot of money. And I mean just like seriously a lot. I'm just going to grab this out, extend it a little bit. There we go. There's two things that you need to keep in mind when trading Pay. We already broke out. To get the Ishimoku. And maybe I can do some education on this as well because it's fun. Last time we broke the Ishimoku cloud. You all know the cloud. You know how to use it probably. If you don't, I just go to Investopedia, look up Ishimoku. It's very easy to use. Last time we broke through the cloud, which was in September, I believe. Yeah, September. We broke out, but the main difference back then is that we were still pretty far from the general resistance of ARK. Now, what happened last week, or actually 2 weeks ago, is the following. We broke the general resistance. Right now, we are breaking through the clouds. I think the chance that we do break through it is 10x larger than that we don't. And just hold on, I'm going to give you guys a time frame for this because I'm really confident. Time frame for breakout on Pay, and I mean a huge breakout, it's going to be the 1st of December. I believe that before the 1st of December, Pay is going to break out, and we are going to be on our way to the first target. Hold on. Which is this one. I based this level off previous bounces of the price. Let's see. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 confirmations on this level. So that really makes it a big resistance. And that's why I actually made this my first target. Now, of course, we all know, let's say their product takes off pretty well. As you know, you all know what 10x does. It's like a debit card. You can put your Bitcoins on it and you can pay everywhere that accepts debit cards. If this actually takes off as it's supposed to be and people start using their products and it gets mainstream, as far as mainstream goes inside the crypto world, then I expect we could actually break the all-time high and reach for the stars. Of course, I don't know this, so this is going to be my secondary target. I'm going to sell half at the first target, which will give me a 3x. So that's 50% profit if I sell half. So let's say I invested 1, I sell half at the first target, I get 1.5. Now, then I will keep the remaining back, potentially for a sky shot. This might be anywhere in 2018, 2019. Okay, so that's pay. It's still the same, still looks good. Next one's going to be Lisk. Gonna keep it short. Everyone should have watched my last live stream. I'm still pretty excited about it. My target's going to be up here. We have, of course, support. So, okay. Something that really sucked is that we formed the Head and Shoulders. Actually, keep in mind, indicators can form Head and Shoulders too. You know, it's not only always on the chart you need to look at. And the moment this was finished, boom! Look at the price. It's like 30%. We went down there. It's not really a big problem. We might bounce off support again. Even if we bounce off the support, I'm not going to be at a loss. So it's not really a problem. And if we bounce again, then it would make for a higher low, which is bullish. Could potentially reach to our target. If we break through, I'm just going to stop it out and take my money and leave. And I'm going to curse Lisk if it does, because I don't think it will. I think it's going to be a good trade. Now, of course, I did call Steam somewhere in the middle of this week. I called Steam. I didn't add it to the calls list yet. I'm sorry. I'm you know, hold on. I barely have any time to do anything at the moment, so that's why. But from today, I'm gonna have more time. I fixed some things. Gonna be available all day again. And okay, so let's look at this chart globally first. These are levels we will never ever see again. Why? If Steam were to reach all the way up here, the market cap would become insane. And that is because there were less teams during this period than there are now. So a little bit of inflation. Also, I believe this was a pump and dump. So I'm not going to count in this stop. This doesn't exist, according to me. Now, something that does exist for me is the previous stop. So I'm just going to put my Fibonacci over that. There we go. I'm going to grab my RSI. Okay, something I'm really excited about. Look at this volume here. The volume like this. Let's see, how much was this? Can I see it anywhere? Yes, 11.4 million. Yeah, 11.4 million. Okay, in a single day. Volume like that hasn't been seen since, ever. This is the biggest volume spike Steam has ever seen. So that means there's more interest for Steam now than there ever was. And that makes me really, really, really bullish. Also, if you look at the unbalanced volume, this exploded. The amount of buys are insane. So that means somebody or a group of somebodies or, a lot of people actually bought a shit ton of Steam here. And even after that day, which was about 3 days ago, volume remained pretty reasonable. Today we are making nice volume again. Of course, we are only a quarter into the day, so I expect volume to be up as well. And I believe that once we actually breach this resistance line, it's going to be a party. we're gonna reach this level, and possibly we are also going to reach this level right here. Now, if you are a careful trader, I would set my target a little bit lower. I would make it, let's see, at the 382 level. But I myself, I'm aiming for the 618, which is also the most well-respected level of all the Fibonacci levels. And the 618 would bring you 65k Satoshi, and that should be easily achievable, should be no problem. Which would make for a 6x, it's going to be 6 times from what we are paying for it today. And that would make it an awesome trade. I would, you know, if that happens, I'm going to throw a party, and you will all be invited, and I'll pay for it. So yeah. Okay, so Steam. Let's see, what else do we have? Okay. Oh, forgetting something really important. Something that will actually get you all by surprise. And I'm making this a call, ladies and gentlemen. I am making it a call. Let's see. This is the level we have to breach in order to reach for the skies. But as you know, Ethereum has been bearish for a very, very long time. And the reason this happened, 90% sure, it was due to ICOs. People were investing hundreds of millions and even billions into projects. Those projects had to sell their Ethereum, of course, and this created pressure on the price, which pushed it down. Now, I think most of the selling has finished because people are much more greedy than you might think, so they sold off too fast, which is good for us. Now we can set our higher high and become bullish again. It's very close. I'm not making it a call yet. I'm just gonna zoom into this level. If we breach this resistance, I am adding Ethereum to the call sheet. I'm even thinking of starting to buy now, but it is a little bit risky. Let's say we do not manage to reach this level, then we could see even lower prices. And probably what that would mean for me is that we are going to see a very, very heavy volume spike that will bring us down here. Why? Because everyone who ever had an ICO will panic sell their ETH because they want to, save their funds. They made a lot of money with the ICO. They will probably panic sell, and we could see a major, major dip. Now, if that happens, I will buy. If this resistance breaks, I will also buy. So I'm going to be buying Ethereum very soon. That's for sure. It just depends on which level. So yeah, basically that's what I'm looking at right now in the market. Keep a close eye on Pay. I've set a time frame of 1 or 2 weeks for it. 1st of December. I expect it to break out before that time. Usually, you guys know me. I don't really set time frames. I never set time frames because I think if you're trading against time, then you are always going to lose. That's like the worst way to manage your cash. But for this time I'll do it because you guys like it, and I want to see if I actually can do it, because I've never done so. I just look at a chart, and this is some advice to you guys. If you are trading, for example, let's say, okay, we are trading Pay NX, and let's just say for myself that I have set a time frame. Okay, you know, I'm looking at this chart, and I'm like, okay, so we broke the support. I'm gonna give myself, or we broke the resistance, and a day after that, it should shoot up to the stars, you know, and it doesn't. Now let's say it doesn't like this. I'm gonna be like, okay, it didn't break out. I'm going to sell this position. Yes. Now I sold. Now I want to show you something that actually happened to me. This is known as PIVX, and before PIVX, it was known as DNet. And I will show you something. I said to myself, okay, once we breach this level, I'm going to buy. You know, this was the chart, and this is a true story. I can show it on my Bittrex. This was the chart, and I was like, okay, so we're going to break out. After we do, I will buy, and it's all going to be okay. Now we did indeed break out, so I bought here, and this is like 2 weeks. This small part from here to here is 2 weeks. Okay, and then we actually went under broken resistance, and I was like, oh fuck, man, I'm going to lose a lot of money. At this point I invested like 5,000, 10,000 euros, and I was like, oh shit, my trade is wrong. I'm going to lose money. I'm going to sell. So I sold. Now a couple of weeks later, 2 weeks. Keep in mind this red line here. I'll fatten it up really fat. Is where I bought, and after that this happened. And let's just have some fun here. Let's make it a 1 hour chart. Or 4 hours, it's better. Just can't really see. Yeah, there we go. Now look at this. So I sold here, and then this happened. See? If I had not sold my position, I would have made like $1 million just right there in, I don't know, let's make it 3 days. Let's say if I hadn't sold there in 3 weeks, I would have made $1 million out of it. And I missed out because I got impatient and I panicked, and and that was the time I promised myself, like, okay, no, I'm not going to trade against time. I'm just going to check. Does it still look good? Are the fundamentals I used still the same? Yes or no? If they are, I buy. If the fundamentals, however, change, I sell. So yeah, that's my 2 cents for you guys. I'm going to chart a little bit. I'm going to look for some new positions. I'm going to look at ETH, and I will be available for you guys if you have questions. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you around in Slack. Have a good day.